Gerstlauer designed this ride, and they built it in between, well, the winter of 2006, and we opened on Friday the 13th, 2007. Was the #1 new ride in the industry in 2007, and remains a really great attraction for us. Pretty high capacity because of the number of vehicles, and it really runs nicely. The lift you see behind you, the elevator, the scissor lift, that's how we get the cars up and down in this in the maintenance area. Every day, the 7 cars we have make their way down here, and they do visual inspections under the track in which I'm standing. Check the brakes, check the bogies, go through and look at everything that is related to the running gear of the ride. Check wear on the wheels, check the, really check everything. And then once they've been inspected, they're sent back up the lift and then cycled to the positions they're in right now, because as you guys were finishing eating and queuing, you probably saw we sent several cars around the circuit to get them staged. That we did that so that we could get ready for your ERT. It's an interesting configuration. One thing that's great for us is it allows us to work on the ride while the ride is in operation. Allows us, originally the design was so we could do all of our NDT and tear down in the building, so we didn't have to take the trains out of here. Still do that to some degree, although we do have a maintenance building that is on property but off the park that allows us to do all of our tear down and NDT while the park's in operation. I mean, this has really been somebody asked me in the last group how reliable this ride's been for us. Really pretty reliable. I mean, we have profiled the curve that's on the inside. Once you go into the rock crusher and you make the curve that goes around to take you to lift 1, we've reprofiled that curve a couple of times. But other than that, it's been running really, really well. We learn things every year, obviously. This is a ride in which this is very convenient because we swap wheels out throughout the entire season. So you got hard wheels on, you get a mix of hard and soft wheels, you put soft wheels on, and that really affects the speed and how it runs. And the folks that work on this ride really know it well. The maintenance guys start working on this ride about 5 hours before park opening every day. So, as Smiley said to the first group, while you're sleeping, they're here, they're doing their inspections on the trains first. They do a walking track inspection. You'll probably see around all over the place the white lines that are on the bolts that are around in the building. Those are all torque stripes. They go around and they actually visually walk the track. They check the brakes outside. They do everything mechanical and from a construction element until the operations team gets here. It's an hour before park opening and they just got here, so they are the ones that will take it from there. They'll clean the trains, and then they will, they're the ones that actually go out and they ride. They do the test rides. Our ops folks do a rotation, so they ride at least once an hour, so they can hear, feel, see anything that might be anomalous in the ride itself. And if that's the case, then we'll employ the elevator, and that vehicle will come back down, and they'll inspect it and see if there's anything going on, and then they'll send it back up. Really, it's been, I mean, this is very convenient, but it's really been a great ride for us. It's very complicated. The control system on this, there are 2 huge different computer systems that run this ride. One that runs the entire show elements that, as we go out this way, we'll be able to show you the show control room. And then outside, I'm going to say that there's a closet that's probably, I don't know, 12 to 18 feet long. That's just full of computer cabinets. That is just the control system to run this. This ride's capable of having all 7 cars in operation at any given time. So 5 on the track, which would include the final brake run, 2 in the house, and the rest out on the track. That's a pretty complicated blocking system. But it knows where the trains are at any given time, no matter where they are on the track. It's also, from an operational standpoint, rather challenging, because if you do have an e-stop and have to do an evac, that's a lot of blocks to cover. So if you've ever seen an evac on this ride, which it doesn't happen all that often, but it does happen, just like it does in any other park, they're out here on the bridge, they're out here on the brake run, they're around inside at the bottom of the lifts, because they have to, even if it happens in block 1, all the blocks have to be cleared of everybody before we'll go through and finish the reset process. So quickly, any questions before we go in the building?
I have one quick one.
Yeah.
What's the lead time for 5 hours? Is that for the controls for the show, or is that why is it so much longer?
Well, it's actually about 10 man-hours total. And it takes that long to do the checklist and complete inspection of the train and any maintenance they need to do on the train in the pre-op. And then they literally are inspecting the track all the way around and doing all of that work. It just takes that much time. For Thunderhead, you got 3 guys that are out on 5-hour calls. I mean, it is, and they walk that track, they harness and walk that complete track. A wrench will touch every one of those bolts at least once a year, and there's about 1 million plus bolts on that ride. And they do the visual inspection. As I said, with the torque striping, it's good because they can walk it and see if anything's backed off immediately. But if you get one that's backed off, then that kind of opens a can that says, all right, well, what else needs to be tightened, and that takes a little extra time. So, but yeah, it's, and I would say, being in the industry as long as I have, I would say that the industry as a whole is very, very safe, but we kind of are on the leading edge of safety in regard to taking a little additional time to make sure everything is set up and ready to go. And that's why we also, we may be down a little longer on an e-stop or things like that, because our protocols are a little longer than some other parks.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Would cold temperatures affect its operation?
It does. The beginning of the season, I mean, all of our coasters can ride down to about freezing. But you can't commission below 40. Obviously, at the beginning of the day, grease is cold, track's cold, all of that stuff. That slows everything down. Also, the composition of the wheels makes a difference. There are hard wheels and soft wheels, and so we have through the commissioning process at the beginning of the year. We will run 40 contiguous hours for them to check the trains, and they'll do a mix of wheels, or they'll do all hard wheels, or they'll do, once it gets warmer, and I think they eventually will get to all soft wheels and then start reversing the process to allow the speed to continue. And things. I mean, I'll tell you, a heavy train is more apt to be able to go wherever than an empty train. And I mean, we've had empty cars hang on the hard line early in the season, and it's just kind of part of it. I'd say it's more art than science sometimes in regard to getting that tweak exactly right.
I had a question.
Yep.
Is there any possibility of converting to lap bars and shin guards for guest
It's an
comfort.
interesting question. The
and
last group we talked to, they asked me about the trains. We do all of the, we've done all and continue to do all of the changes on the Eurofighter vehicles that Gerstlauer recommends. The only thing we haven't done is update the trains to get rid of the over-shoulder restraints. I'll tell you that what we have works well for us, and that is a pretty significant expense to retrofit the trains. You ready?
Good.
So at this time, we have no plans to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Follow Smiley. He'll take you into the show part of the ride.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll be behind you.
And there's a car up there.
Oh, come on. I know what this is.
There's the left, vertical left.
There's an explosion! Get out now!
Lots of grease there.
Watch the grease.
Ooh.
Follow the elephant trail.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't remember.
Again, right outside here is our first vertical lift.
Here's your answer right here.
Once you step out the gate, if you want to ride Mystery Mine, go left. If you want to go ride Wild Eagle, which is just go through, you go to the right.
Pull down your restraints and secure all your guns. If you show me your piano falling down the steps, I'll show you a flat minor. Remain seated with your head back and close your eyes tight. There ain't no light at the end of this tunnel.
Come on in, miners, if there's any gonna get this right.